I feel like performance has been with me forever, but I've also always been appreciative of those, I guess, just circles around the fire, right? Or around a meal where my family got a chance to just tell a story. If it feels honest, it's because it's a snippet, right? Of what the process was like. It is certainly not only poetry, but then again, what is poetry? Maybe poetry is this right now, this exchange, this conversation. And so it's so rich, I think.
Hello, and welcome to Power Beyond Pride, a weekly queer change-making podcast bringing you voices and ideas from across our fierce and fabulous spectrum to transform our world. I'm Melody KG, a provocateur from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
And I am Mattie Bynum, your other co-host today. I am a comedian, actress, lover of all things, passionate about most things, and creative about some things. That is just me, and we are your co-hosts today on this QueerCast journey. In today's episode, we will be talking with the beautiful, outstanding River Coello. And before I say anything else, y'all have to understand, the hair is hairing, the skin is skinning, and the radiant is radiating from this beautiful being.
Glowing.
Okay, all the way. I love it. They are a writer, translator, performer, visual artist, facilitator, speaker, and researcher. River has been called a cultural weaver. River is known for dancing between ancestral and personal memory, documenting spiritual discoveries through performance, visual media, and writing. Welcome, River, to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. What an introduction.
Yeah. The intro is merely a freckle of all of the things that I'm sure you put into the world. So thank you for being you and for coming on today's podcast. Would love to hear from you. What is meant by the term cultural weaver when you describe yourself as such? What does that mean? It's beautiful.
Thank you. That actually came to me in a dream. I've been spending a lot of time reconnecting with my Andean ancestry and in particular my Indigenous roots. And I've done a lot of work around, I guess, unpacking and repacking a lot of things about my life. And not just around identity or lineage, right? But also purpose, I think. What does it mean to be a human person on this planet? And in that dream, I was weaving, much like my ancestors were, especially my feminine and I imagine my trans feminine ancestors, or even my androgynous ancestors, as I like to imagine them. And it made a lot of sense when I look at my work, my artistic work, but also my research, also my facilitation style. I'm always trying to make sense of things that seem disparate, seem like they don't go together, but I find the beauty in trying to weave them together. I see that in my gender presentation, for example. I think a lot of people don't often know what to make sense of me, but I like to embody both of my energies. And I see other themes that are kind of similar in that way, right? Where I can spot, yes, how different they are, but I suppose the great opportunity there is to bring them together.
That's beautiful,
So, yeah.
and that's something I can relate to you with. I love being a conversational starter too. So I think that is the beautiful thing about your essence. So real quickly, if you can, take us back to the beginning. How did River become River? How did you become a cultural weaver? Did you become a conversational starter?
I feel like all my life I've been a bit of a queerdo, is how I like to tell people about it, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I was always, I guess, kind of looking inward from the margins and recognizing that some of us just unfortunately don't have the same kind of access or acceptance. And from a very young age, I was very rattled by injustice. I saw it in my own family, especially along racial lines or class lines. And that really bothered me as a curious child. And so I had this kind of wild curiosity and imagination, I'm sure. And I was always drawn to especially the written word, right? I was out here in my journal documenting it all. And my God, was it angsty? Was it histrionic at times, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I couldn't let it go. And as I learned more about the world, because I'm a total nerd, right? As you'll come to find out, the more fed up I got and the more I wanted to do something about it. And I think for me, culture, right, being a cultural weaver is an important place for change. And I like to contribute to it with my research and with my art. And when it comes to my personal journey, I think I can't disconnect who I am from my work, right? And I want to say, I guess it was around 20, it's been about a decade now of me being outwardly trans and some more years being outwardly queer. But that journey has been really, really beautiful, really difficult as well, as you can imagine. But I found a lot of freedom in just letting go of like the social scripts, letting go of what people expect of you, and just finding where your joy is. I joke about this a lot, but as difficult as the pandemic was for the world, right? And continues to be, the space, the introverted space that it gave me to explore everywhere I could go was like a beautiful gift. It really was. And I'm very, very grateful for it. I think that's where River kind of got solidified as an energy, I suppose. Yeah, and I've always been feminine, but I've never hated my boyhood necessarily. And so I try to live in a way that like, brings them together.
That's incredible. And I love what you said too about the pandemic sort of giving you the space you needed to cultivate or refine or however you want to describe your energies. And I can definitely relate to that. The stillness that kind of the lockdown and all the things that came with it really pressed a lot of us to do some inner work. Not all of us, as we can
Not
sort of
all of
see
us.
from right. But for those of us who did, who really took that time to rebuild, reform, rediscover, um, it was truly almost a blessing despite the horribleness that were happening outside. So I'm really glad that you had that experience and emerged this beautiful weaver of things. I would love to hear more about especially how your connection to your Andean heritage has allowed you to sort of like facilitate space for others to connect with who you are and how you're sort of pulling on that thread and weaving it into your work.
Yeah, of course. I guess there's various different ways that it shows up in my work. I was born in Guayaquil, Ecuador, but my family traces its roots to Manta, which is also on the coast, and Cuenca. And I've always had this curiosity about, I think, especially our indigenous ancestry. I think my journey through, unfortunately, this is not the case for everybody, but as a queer and trans person, my journey through Christianity in the church was challenging, if not traumatic. And I've always been curious about other models, right? I figured there had to be something different, perhaps something that came before it in our region. And so I've always been curious about that history, right? That's been, I mean, quite frankly, systemically erased. But even in the spaces where it continues to exist, it's just kind of forgotten or not prioritized. And so I've always had this immense curiosity about, well, how were we as queer and trans bodies existing in our land, right? Before colonization took all of that away. And that's translated to the research that I do now. I'm a PhD student at UCF here in Orlando, which is where I'm based. But I also bring everything that I've learned, especially from spiritual guides and teachers from Ecuador and Peru, which is where I've primarily focused, into my facilitation work. Like whenever I'm facilitating a creative workshop, for example, I'm bringing our cosmovision into it, our sacred animals, our conversations with the elements, the stars, the sun and the moon, and so much more. And then all of that comes through in my writing as well. Hampi, which is the multimedia collection that I released early last year, has all of these elements. It really chronicles my journey to and through my reconnection to the Andean Cosmovision, and I think it's really resonated with some really wonderful folks out there, and I'm so happy that it's had that effect for sure.
Yes, when I was reading about you and I was looking into you was talking about the third gender and your research and all that, it really did. I'm not gonna lie, like I had to call our producer and I was like, yo, I'm learning so much and I'm loving it. Because I think that that is something, being a spiritual person raised in the Christianity faith like you, I think it's good that we can have multiple conversations about deity. We can have multiple conversations about transfiguration. We can have multiple conversations about those things because when we allow ourselves to stay in just one concept, and look at just from a micro lens of a religion that was created by men. Let's be honest. This was a religion. It's not a spirituality, but a religion. And we type ourselves that we don't even realize that we inherently make ourselves ignorant and our generations to come
Mm.
ignorant because we don't allow ourselves to explore and expand. And I think that is interesting because I wanted to ask you, what was your earliest memory between your connection of spirituality, religion, and who River is in general?
Mm. I think I always, and I mentioned this earlier a little bit, but I think I always did feel like an outsider, right? I felt like everything that my gender, I suppose, was supposed to do, I just couldn't quite relate to. And that was a painful and lonely childhood. And then unfortunately, my experiences in the church just made that even harder because I wasn't really finding my place. And especially as my queerness just started developing, it was even harder to feel at home because the best word I have is demonized, right? That was quite literally the framing. This isn't of God. But and I'm grateful for this about my younger self. I've always been a bit rebellious as well. And there was just something that I was like, it's not sitting right in the spirit for me. Something's off. I hear this and I know that these are spiritual leaders, but something doesn't feel right about me being wrong when I haven't chosen a single thing, right? I'm just alive. And so later on in life, when I found the Kariwarmi, when I found other, especially indigenous expressions of these third genders, I was like relieved. I was so affirmed that this had always been around, this had always existed, and that I could just tap into that power, connect with those ancestors, and find my way like they did. And it was not easy for them. Many we've lost, even in contemporary times, right? I mean, trans women, especially trans women of color, are persecuted in our societies. Let's be real. We are trying to be ourselves, but the world resists that power, I think. And I think of it as a mirror because we embody possibility. And I think sometimes that can be really scary for people, especially systems, right? that are kind of hell bent controlling us. So yeah, it was pretty early that I knew I was different. I was made to feel different. But with time, I found our histories, I guess, and I found my voice and my power by connecting with it.
And we're so glad you did. That's incredible. We do have to take a quick break, but please stay tuned to this incredible episode of Power Beyond Pride with the inspiring River Coello. Welcome back. This is Power Beyond Pride, a queer change-making podcast. And I'm Melody KG, here with my incredible co-host, Mattie Bynum.
Hi.
And we are here talking with the incredible River Coello. River, you're a multi-award winning author, poet, all of the things. I would love to, if you don't mind, hear just a little bit of your style, your character through whatever medium you would like. Particularly if there's a passage of Humpty that you would like to share, I would just love to hear and have the listeners hear what it is you do and how you express yourself.
Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate that. And I like the idea of letting the work speak for itself. So I'm going to read just the very intro of the book, which I think really tells you about, well, what that journey was like for me. And yeah, it's everything into motion. So without further ado, here's the beginning of Humpy. Mama Kia. Kipa ing tiwanyo pung chaipi. Mama Kiyaka nyukaman hampuran. Hujrikuchikuita kuaran. Hampita yachaita munankichu. Hampikika tiximuyuta hampinka. Hujkuyaita manyakuaran. Asuikita saki. Hampikika aikunampa. Con el último eclipse total del sol, nuestra madre luna se me reveló. Trajo con ella un regalo para mí. ¿Liste para aprender nuestra medicina? Lo que cura tu alma sanará tu mundo. Trajo con ella un pedido para mí. Para que entre, debes bajar tu armadura. On the most recent total solar eclipse, our mother moon revealed herself to me. She brought with her a gift for me. Are you ready to learn my medicine? What heals your soul will heal your world. She brought with her an ask for me. You must renounce your shield to let it in. And that's it.
That was beautiful. I got chills.
I was about to say, first off, when you speak in your song, that alone, I could have just listened to you read that way. Oh my God, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
And the deftness of that, beautiful.
Thank you.
When you write, what is your process? How do you put such an essence of yourself into your writing so that as we read it, it made me feel like I was really sitting with you. Like I really felt you through the words.
Thank you. I think I've been a performer since I was 3 years old. I remember I would grab, I don't know, my mother's belt and I would use it as my microphone. And I was like, all right, time for me to perform Shakira, whom I was obsessed with, of course.
Yes, hips don't lie.
And so I feel like performance has been with me forever, but I've also always been appreciative of those, I guess, just circles around the fire, right? Or around a meal where my family got a chance to just tell a story. And I think, the privilege of having grown up with magical realism as well. That's just so Latin American. It's just, I think it's unshakable. You can't really remove it from our essence, It's the work that we read. And so I've always felt really drawn to where our reality and magic intersect. And so when it comes to my process, I start there. I start in a place that isn't fully here nor there. And as much as it is about putting pen to paper, it's also about, well, how does it feel in the body? I can't separate it from performance and ritual, I think, in particular. And this book, as it was quite literally about reconnecting with Indigenous spirituality, was all about writing through ritual, through prayer, through conversations with sacred animals, sacred beings, with the stars. And so if it feels honest, it's because it's a snippet, right, of what the process was like. It's real and it's longing, I guess, right? Like when you are searching for connection, you can't help but to be yourself. Or at least I hope so, right? And that's where this book met me. And I guess it is where it's meeting you now. But yeah, that's a bit about my process. It is certainly not only poetry, it is, but then again, what is poetry? Maybe poetry is this right now, this exchange, this conversation. And so it's so rich, I think, in a lot of different ways.
Wow, that's incredible. And such a good reminder for all of us to, as you said in the passage, sort of relinquish your shield, right? Sort of be neither here nor there and tap into whatever that is for yourself, because that's where the artistry can really come alive within you and then also transform our world. It's just such a powerful message, so poignant, and so salient, especially in these times, right? Uh, Just beautiful. I would love to hear from you as someone getting a PhD in anthropology, how you how you sort of both contend with the institution of higher education, being someone who's so rooted in ancestral and spirituality, and what it is you're doing with that work and sort of what you're learning through the process.
Yeah. Spent a lot of time this summer in particular looking at the history of the field of anthropology and in particular American anthropology. And as you may imagine, it's very complicated, very problematic. But in that research, I too found Indigenous voices, right? And the overriding feeling that I got was that we've always been in it, right? Our voices were shaping a lot of thought and always have been. We've just had to be crafty and resourceful and covert even in how we code our wisdom and our knowledge for the world to enjoy and make use of. And so yes, for every story where there was dispossession and disenfranchisement and just oppression, there's also stories of Indigenous wisdom just somehow breaking through. I think even in the context of American anthropology, right, which is again so problematic, it stands out in the sense that it was still kind of curious, I guess, about, well, are we inherently different because of our race, for example? Maybe we're not. And that to me, and from what I've read and research, that's just Indigenous wisdom. When white scholars throughout the history of the field have put that forward, that's really just them channeling the wisdom of the Indigenous folks that they interviewed because they knew that so wholeheartedly, right? We've always, and I don't want to make a monolith of us, right? Because we're so different. But I do think there is a sense of reciprocity and mutual respect, regardless of affiliation or place that's been present in our histories,
Sure.
pre-colonization in particular, and throughout it, that kind of, like, I guess, seeps through. And I guess I draw from that power and those principles. And I see myself as just a continuation of that work and more explicitly, outwardly, that I am a brown scholar I am proud of my indigeneity. I am proud of my queerness and transness. And you will feel that in my work. And when I connect with folks that are like me or unlike me, I will bring my full self to it. And in no part of my work will I be spousing anything around disconnection, but the complete opposite, connection and empowerment. Yeah, I think that's how I kind of negotiate my presence in the field. I feel like we've always been in it. We can't really help but to be part of systems, unfortunately, right? Of course, we could create solutions outside of them. And I really believe in them and in mutual aid and in creating work that exists outside of institutions that were not created for you. All of that is very important. And also, we can't help but to be where we are. And so, how do we make the most out of it? And I think that's just as authentically as possible, but it does take a lot of work and a lot of guts, I think. And how I protect myself is just to remember my why and connect with my why, because really my why is people, my people, right? Our people. And then also with spirit and with myself, for sure.
Beautiful.
Most definitely. And since we're somewhat on that topic, I do want to get just a little political for 2 seconds. I'm always that person that wants to bring in politics. But with right now in 2025, we're dealing with so many things being overturned in our country. Civil rights legislation, rights, especially for the LGBT community, and Florida being a state that has very loudly spoken out against LGBT plus communities and different rights for women in general. What is the current climate in Florida, especially in Orlando? Orlando is known to have its little hot moments. So how is it down there politically right now?
I'm very protective of Florida. Let me start there. I love this place for so many different reasons. We wouldn't even have enough time to get into them. But I will say it is home, right? And I get protective because, yes, some Floridians are Florida man, I suppose, and they are how they are. Can't help themselves. And unfortunately, they've amassed so much power. But I think the resistance is just as strong and beautiful. I think a lot of people don't know that Florida has one of the largest trans populations in the country. I think a lot of people don't know, right, that for every bill that wants to pass, there's just a strong opposition. And I do think a lot of these more liberal cities are the places where that resistance, right, takes root. But we're everywhere. We're all throughout the state, right? And so I am in awe of the work that happens here, the networks that get created in response to this really alienating climate. And I am honored to, in my own little way, be part of it. Just by being visible, I think it's a very big thing to do when folks want to, I guess, tuck you away. And one more thing I wanted to say in this regard, I suppose, is that uh, when the heat, right, is as high as it is, it's never more important to cultivate hope. And I see that all around me. I really do. Every day here that I'm at a queer, trans, women led, POC led event or initiative, I feel it. I really do. And it feels that much more momentous. It's like we are not going anywhere. You can try all you want, but I mean, we've survived centuries. Like you can try all you want, but I mean, at worst, you can't kill all of us. And at best, you better believe we're going to take care of each other.
Incredible. Absolutely. I love to hear folks from Florida really own the fact that Florida is home for you, for other folks, because I think being not from Florida, we hear a lot of this Florida man and like Florida's terrible for trans people. And it's like, well, but we're here. Like we're living here, we're thriving here, and it's always been bad for us kind of wherever. So it's really beautiful. So thank you for bringing us back to that. But let's take another short break here. And please stay with us because we will be back in just a minute to share some fun facts plus a speed round of questions to get to know River better.
And welcome back. We are here at Power Beyond Pride talking with the illustrious River Coello. And I am one of your hosts, Mattie Bynum, sitting here with my beautiful co-host, Ms. Melody KG. River, I do want to ask a quick question because you have traveled all over, abroad, domestically. So, what is one place or where is one place that you have done speaking or performances that has really stuck out to you, whether it be fun, memorable, not so fun, memorable, or just very enlightening?
I will say Chicago was a big part of my life for many years, and I got the opportunity to share my work in various different places there, and I always left feeling very replenished and inspired. Chicago is fucking cool, and trans people there are amazing too. So, yeah, I owe a lot of my growth to that wonderful city, and I find myself back there quite a bit.
Okay. And
It's
they do
awesome.
have the best pizza. I do love me some Giordano's. So I'm right there with you on that.
Hard disagree. I love Chicago and New York pizza is the way.
Okay.
I pled the fifth. I will stay out of this. I am Switzerland in this debate.
I mean, well, yeah, New York. Okay, so let's say it like this: New York in itself is an equivalent of pie all day, every day. It is the best pizza. However, if you do like deep dish, I will say Giordano's is another good option. We just leave Detroit all the way out between the water and the pizza and the drama. We just don't like anyway. So, we're just going to stick with Chicago and New York.
I love it. What's next on the horizon for River? What are some things we can look out for and look forward to coming out from you and this beautiful brain and hair, mane of hair and spirit?
Can we just take a moment for the hair? Can we just take a moment of silence for the hair?
Let's do it.
It's beautiful. Yes.
If y'all don't know, please go to River's Instagram. We will put all the social media at the end of the show, but you have got to go. There is one iconic picture of the flip over that River has. Yes. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
What's next? Besides a really good hair routine, I am working on Humpy, the multimedia experience. It's going to be a gallery exhibition, and it will be opening in Seattle at Jack Straw Cultural Center in April. My hope is to bring it back home to Central Florida and maybe in the future also bring it to other places. So if cities are interested in this work, please reach out. I think that's the immediate next stage of this project, right? It always has been a multimedia project. And so to bring it to space just feels super fitting. And there will be performance components as well. And I'm excited to be going to Europe next summer to develop Humpy as a solo show. I worked on recording the audiobook for it with Jack Straw as well this past summer. And I'm sure that will be part of the solo show. And I'm excited to develop it over there. So yeah, Humpy continues, but in the background, I'm also working on a new collection. And of course, I will be working on my dissertation for school soon enough. And so I am seeing where those things, you guessed it, intersect, as I am a weaver after all. And I'm excited for what's to come. I'm feeling some really good momentum, and I'm very grateful for all my collaborators because we just don't do anything alone. So yeah, these next stages are very much something to look forward to. And if you want to stay in the loop, you absolutely can follow me on social media. It's just my first and last. So
my dad used to always say, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. So staying busy, it's always the way to be. So, River, at this time, we are getting into our speed question round of the show. Like I told you during the break, this is the part where we get just a little more intrusive, a little bit more invasive, and maybe just a little bit scandalous. Okay. So, are you ready to take the plunge?
Bring it.
Do you choose? Oh, all right. Well, Melody, kick us off.
What's your favorite midnight snack?
My favorite midnight snack, arepas. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Some pan de yuca as well. I'm here for anything that has cheese, honestly.
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
most
I love it.
definitely. Matter of fact, I think I was eating macaroni salad at 1 o'clock this morning. So I'm right there with you with some good old cheese mixed in. Yes.
A
Name
little
one
barbecue sauce,
person.
a little hot sauce.
You ain't know. That's another tangent we ain't got time for that. But yes, we always have to doctor everything up. Nothing is never spicy enough for us. I love it. Name one person, past or present, that motivates you to be who you are today.
I'm just gonna say my ancestors, my transcestors in particular, for sure. Yeah, I don't know that I can name just one person. I'm so inspired by the past in so many different ways. So yeah, just the transcestors for sure. They keep me powerful.
Amazing. Are you a cat person or a dog person?
I am a pet person. I love them all. I love them both. I have a dog, Teddy, but if I could, my partner is allergic to cats. I would have a cat. Yeah, oh my goodness. I just love a fur baby.
Yes.
Okay. Very diplomatic. You plead the fifth on pizza, and now you are right down the middle when it comes to pets. I like it. I like it. It's safe but cute.
It's truthful.
So, River, what would be the ideal first date for you?
Oh my goodness, that's a good one. I love to talk, so I'm thinking, and I'm an artist. I'm like, maybe like a little gallery exhibition, followed by like a little local coffee shop conversation with some good coffee. That sounds really good. A little dessert moment, just something that feels intimate, and I can, yeah, just be myself around you. That'd be great. Love that.
I see
sounds
someone has
delicious.
watched the movie The Photograph.
I have not, but I may have to.
Really? Yes, it's a really good movie, and it starts out with that. They meet at an art gallery and go have coffee. I think that's so cute.
Perfect.
River, do you still get nervous to get up and speak in front of people or perform?
All the time. Absolutely. I think if you get nervous, it's because you care. Absolutely. All the time. It's a very vulnerable practice, very vulnerable thing to do.
Yeah.
And you can never predict it. Things happen all the time.
No, that's
No,
true.
you cannot. No, you can't. What is your favorite spice to cook with?
I don't cook. I will admit. Yeah. All my
They were
ancestors
spiced
are now
it.
fully frowning down upon me. But oh, this is a hard one. I don't cook, but I love obviously spices, period. I don't think I can pick up a favorite. It's yeah.
I can understand.
Again with the diplomacy. Yeah.
Right down the middle. I'm telling you. Yes.
That's fine. That's fine. Do you prefer a good kiss or a good hug?
Oh. See, I'm gonna say both. I keep doing this, but probably a good hug. I mean, yeah, of course, there's like magic in a really good kiss, but a good hug feels more accessible with so many more people too, and like, can be really replenishing for sure. Yeah.
This one though, you were in a good place because a kiss and a hug kind of goes together. So it's okay that you said both because I mean,
right.
who hugs and doesn't kiss, or who kisses and doesn't hug at the same time. So yeah, that's another conversation for another talk show, not this one. But anyways, moving on. Okay, so I would say my last question for me would be, if you could go to one place in time and be able to live that experience, what century or what genre would you, or what place would you go to?
I would probably go back home pre-colonization for sure. I am in many ways trying to access that through the historical records that I'm like browsing through. And sometimes they come to me, these visions and dreams of what it could have been like. And I think I would really love being back there and just seeing us thrive in a different way.
Yeah, absolutely. That's beautiful. And River, what does power beyond pride mean to you?
Power beyond pride is, to me, I guess the opportunity to, I guess I see pride centering certain voices. And so when I think beyond pride, I think of decentering those voices and really highlighting others too. But I guess it's also beyond this idea of just being proud, right, of our identity and really just safe and able to live our lives fully, right? I've spoken about this before in my work. Visibility can only do so much. And in fact, many times visibility just puts us in danger, especially as trans people. Uh, and so while these expressions of pride are like incredible and necessary, right, because they do offer hope, we can't end there, right? If we're going to make trans people visible, we also got to make sure they're safe. We also got to make sure that they're fed, that they have shelter, that they have family, and I mean that in every sense of the word, that they have security, financial and otherwise. That's, to me, what pride doesn't fully capture. And so beyond pride means looking at everything that makes the things that I mentioned possible.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And where can people follow you in your work, River?
You can always go to my website, which is rivercoello.com, or you can follow me on social media. I am mostly active on Instagram, so that's again at River Coello, first and last. Or you can shoot me an email. Honestly, it would be treated like snail mail because I move at my own pace, but you will get a response.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here. We're out of time for this podcast, but we would love to have you on again if you're willing and able and have time in between all your things. But would love to catch up with you sometime soon.
That would be wonderful. Thank you both for having me. It's been a joy.
Most definitely. And yeah, I just want to repeat the same thing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And for those who are listening, as you can see, she is very personable. So she said you can email her directly. It might be slow, but it's coming. Email and social media. All right. I am Mattie Bynum, your co-host for the afternoon, enjoying this queer journey with the beautiful River. You can contact me at Mattie Simone 737 on Instagram or Mattie Bynum on Facebook. I will admit I do not respond to everybody, and it's no disrespect. I don't respond. I'm a Leo. That's me.
And I'm your co-host, Melody KG. You can find me at Substack on at melodykg.substack.com or on Instagram at melodykg, MELODIEKG. Not on Facebook. Don't email me. Thank you.
I love it. I love it. Power Beyond Pride is a project from A Great Idea, a queer-owned design and content agency. Learn more about them at agreatidea.com.
This episode is produced by Shane Lucas. Mattie Bynum is the project developer. Our editor is Jarrett Redding with support from Ian Wilson.
And both me and Melody are part of the podcast host team here. It's a great group of people. And if you ever get a chance to listen to us, just hear everybody's personality and their own views. And if you also have questions, please send them to powerbeyondpride.com so that we can answer them.
Check out our new episodes each week, and we look forward to queer change making with you next time. Thank you from all of us at Power Beyond Pride.